Namaste guys, it is Sahara Rose here from Eat Feel Fresh, and today I want to share with you guys two of my favorite subjects put together, love and Ayurveda. So this isn't traditionally from the Ayurvedic text, but it's something I have come across through my years of living, working with clients, having girlfriends, and just seeing the way that love works, and of course being in a relationship myself. So I have noticed that the way that we react with love in our relationships and the people we care about and sex and all of these things really has a lot to do with our dosha. So if you don't know what a dosha is, I invite you to check out my website, eatfeelfresh.com. I have a quiz that you can take to discover your dosha or mind-body type. In a nutshell, the doshas are the energies that we are comprised of. They are Vata, which is wind, so wind-like people, which I'll discuss in this video, really airy, creative, eccentric, free-thinking, flowing, idealistic, stuff like that. Pittas, they're fiery, they're sharp, analytic, goal-oriented, organized, hardworking, disciplined. And in love, they react that way too, which we'll discuss. Now, Kaphas are earthy. They're grounded, peaceful, bohemian mamas. They're centered. They're humorous. They get along with everyone. Sometimes they have a hard time telling people how they feel. Again, we'll get into that. So if you don't know your dosha, I invite you to go on eatfeelfresh.com, take the quiz. It's going to take 2 minutes out of your life. It will tell you exactly what dosha you are in your mind and in your body. And unlike any other quiz on the website, I have differentiated the categories of the mind and body because I have found that sometimes we really resonate with one in the body and one in the mind. So this video is going to be regarding the mind. So in love, there are different ways that we kind of tend to react and respond. So I'll begin with Vatas. So Vatas are the kinds of people that they need a lot of movement in their lives. They get really bored if things are the same. So what does that mean in love? Well, I'm sure you can guess, or you know someone, or you've been this way of getting bored easily. It happens with a lot of people. In fact, I think in America, it's a growing problem. And the reason is because we live in such a Vata-centric society. Our society tells us we need to be doing a million things at the same time. And I notice it in myself. I'm on the computer, I have 20 tabs up, and I'm like simultaneously on my bank, on Facebook, reading an article, checking my emails, all of these things at the same time that our minds are actually not created for. So since we're so all over the place, we're driving, we're eating, we're talking, we're da-da-da-da-da, our minds start to get used to that level of stimulation. So it happens in love and relationships. It's hard for you to just stick with one partner for a long period of time because suddenly that partner, their stories get old and you crave something new. So with Vatas, the biggest issue I've seen is suddenly they'll just be over it one day. You know, it's like, I don't really know, just something about them wasn't working for me anymore. Now, naturally, that's going to happen with you with some people. That means that person was not right for you. But if that keeps happening to you over and over and over again, it's just you being bored, then that's something that you need to look into within yourself. Because it's not everyone else around you is too boring, but maybe you have an issue with the mundane. At the beginning of a relationship, everything is really exciting. You're texting, you don't know what to say, and you're asking your friend what to respond, and it's all these butterflies and emotions, and in the mind, it's dopamine and endorphins, and you know, our minds feel like they're taking some sort of drug when you meet someone new, and you're like, where could this go? Oh. But what happens is then things start getting real. And you have financial discussions to talk about, and maybe that person has kids or whatever, and you know, everyday stuff. You know, you come back from work and you see that person just as they are, not how they are when they spent 3 hours to get ready for a date with you. And it's a little different. We are not always our highest selves. We are not always in the best mood. And our partner is not always going to be like that either. So if you're someone that gets bored, you just want that beginning exciting part of the relationship, that Vata part, and then the moment it becomes more grounded and Kapha and routine and regular, you're like, I'm gonna dip out. Then I invite you to look at yourself and notice, what is it within me that's unwilling to look at the own mundane parts about my personality. Maybe you're having issues with something in your life that isn't stimulating you enough. Maybe your career is not the career that you need to have. Maybe you're not just doing enough exciting things, and you're looking for all of that excitement and stimulation in your partner. And that's not the place to look for it, because your partner is meant to be there to add to you, but they are not meant to be there to complete you. You can only complete yourself. So for those people who are going from one person to a next, and they're just looking for a skydiving experience in every relationship they're with, well, what happens when you get older and that's no longer an option for you? And you have to take a look in the mirror and say, this is just who I am, and not every day is going to be jumping off an airplane. And there's beauty in that. There's beauty of just like coming home to someone and not talking, or just having dinner with them, and then you both go off and do your own things, and you still love and respect each other, but that's how you build and you grow. So if you feel that way in relationships, look inside yourself. Make peace with that mundane part within yourself. Allow yourself to stay in, not have an exciting weekend, not go on that vacation. Maybe what you just really need to do is spend some time in the house. And if you feel like you do enough of that, you're still getting bored, then maybe what you need is more excitement in your everyday life. Maybe you do need more things that stimulate you. Go to a dance class. Go gambling for all I care. Do something that excites you, so relationships are not the only thing. So next I want to talk about Pittas, the fire sign in relationships. So Pittas are really passionate. You know, it's fire. So when they meet someone, it's like, it's you. You're the one. That's it. We're going to make it for the long run. And they're the kind of people at the moment in the relationship, that becomes their whole entire life. And they begin to set all of these expectations with their partner and with themselves. And, you know, they'll begin to say, okay, well, where's this relationship going? And what are you going to put into it? What am I going to put into it? And they begin to like think of the relationship almost like a business deal. And that can scare your partner away, especially if your partner is a Vata or a Kapha, because they say, whoa, we just got started here. I'm still getting to know you. This is just supposed to be fun. And you're thinking about how many kids we're going to have. We've all been there. So if you're a Pitta and you are that fiery person that the moment you meet someone, you're like, okay, when's the wedding? Okay, can you handle me at da-da-da-da-da-da? Let yourself just have those butterflies. Let yourself enjoy the beginning of the relationship where you're not together all the time. Allow yourself to maintain that level of mystery even for yourself. Allow the relationship to just gradually come to be. Don't run to the finish line at the start of a relationship, because actually the funnest part is the journey of getting there. And FYI, there's no finish line in the relationship because it is constantly growing and evolving. So if that resonates with you and you feel like you're a Pitta type, then I invite you to slow down and enjoy the ride. Don't think about where the relationship is going to be a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. Don't worry about them fitting your list, that perfect list that you have of they need to be this tall and this ethnicity and this type of work and we do these kind of things on the weekends. Like, yes, it is important to manifest and create the relationship that you want, but don't be so fixated on it looking a certain way. Some people, they are looking for this like dream man or this dream woman, and then someone comes along that may have worked out really well for them. It could have been like a dream, but it didn't have that exact criteria that they were looking for. So they just kind of shut that person out. So let go of your need for perfectionism in others as well. You know, maybe that person is not as tall and handsome as you wanted to, but they make you laugh and they make you feel really happy. Give that person a shot. So if you feel like that, you're a Pitta, you have a lot of perfectionism, you require a lot from a relationship, you have really, really high standards, then I just invite you to let them go, come back to this place of just acceptance of yourself and others, and let the relationship unfold, and don't feel like you need to control where it's going at all the time. And sometimes the universe has plans for us that we don't even know. So the last dosha that I'm going to talk about are kaphas. So kaphas in relationships are oftentimes really precautious. So they don't like to jump headfirst into things. You know, vatas are like, oh my God, I met you and I love you and you're perfect. And then like 3 days later, I'm over you. And then pittas are like, you're the one. So let's have a talk of where this is going. But then kaphas are like, I don't know, I'm not really sure. Is it right? I don't know. Am I over my ex? And you know, they're really still stuck in the past. It's really hard for them to let go of relationships. So they're oftentimes the ones that keep on getting in and out of the same relationship over and over again. They might have been with the same person since childhood for many, many years, and oftentimes can get into a toxic relationship, because if you're with someone, you guys break up and you get back together. You're not just getting back together starting from a fresh, clean slate again. You're coming back together with a lot of shit, you know, a lot of stored memories and emotions and anger and resentment that you're actually carrying on. So if you don't totally clear the space and forgive each other for whatever it is that broke you guys apart, then you're going to be carrying through those hardships in your current relationship. So with kaphas, the number one thing to do, if you are in a relationship that's on again, off again, on again, off again, then realize, why is it off again? What keeps happening that drives you two apart? Is it lack of communication? Is it misunderstanding? Or is it something deeper? Because if it's something deeper that maybe your eyes do not align on the same core values and beliefs, then maybe you are not meant to be with each other. So a lot of times we remain in relationships not because of love, but because of comfort. Sure, you love that person and you have great memories with them and you care about them, but that doesn't mean that they are the best person for you at this time. Perhaps they were when you guys first met each other, but you may be holding on to that memory and that point in place and try so hard to bring it back, but it's no longer there. And what happens with kaphas is they don't take the signals that the universe provides us with that says your soul contracts are no longer aligned. You see, all of our souls, they have contracts with each other. And when you meet a soulmate or a twin flame, it might say, okay, you guys were meant to be in each other's lives until you learn a certain lesson or get to a certain place. And then that's it. And then you move on your own ways and you respect the time you had together. What happens is a lot of people, especially kaphas, then they don't start listening to the signs that their paths are no longer needed to be walked together. So things start going wrong in the relationship. Perhaps you begin fighting all the time. Perhaps there's cheating involved, even abuse. Maybe you no longer really have anything to talk about. Maybe you feel like you have spiritually outgrown that person. All of this is a sign that your time together is up. And you've served each other's purpose, but now it is time to move on. And what happens with kaphas is, since they hold on to the past so much, they hear this, but they don't want to believe it. And the more that they ignore it, the more these signals get louder and louder until they slap them in the face. And that's how affairs or really traumatic things in relationships happen. Because the universe has said 1,000,000 times, he or she is not the one, he or she is not the one. And you've ignored it because you've gotten too comfortable. And your fear of, maybe I won't find someone that loves me this much. Maybe I'm too old. Or I don't want to be in the dating pool again. I don't want to have those awkward conversations. I don't want to start from scratch anymore. And then what happens is you just stick with this relationship that you know is not right for you, and your soul knows it's not right for you, until the point that you can no longer stay in that relationship. So if you see people in abusive relationships, that's kapha in place. Because abusers don't come overnight. They come after many, many, many signals. Maybe at the beginning they were a little bit aggressive with you, a little short with you. Maybe it began with verbal abuse. And it escalated and escalated, and it turns into something catastrophic. And what Kapha energy does a lot of times is then you stay with that partner because of the fear that says, how will I find someone else? They really love me. I'll see past their flaws. They need me. And you put their needs so in front of your own that you're willing to tolerate abuse. It's not okay. You deserve more than that. So if you find yourself not even with abusive relationships, but just with people who don't treat you the way that you deserve, people who don't spend enough time with you, who aren't really there with you, hearing you out, who aren't willing to create memories with you, and you sit and you take it, then that's Kapha. And what you need is to, again, love yourself. Love yourself more than you are willing to love that person. And know that a relationship is a reflection of your consciousness. And when you don't value yourself, your partner will not value you. And when you do not treat yourself with respect, your partner will not treat you with respect. So it all starts from within. Taking care of your body, taking care of yourself, valuing yourself. You can tell yourself positive affirmations, you can do all of these things, but you have to really believe in it. And you have to get to that point when you're on your knees and you say, universe, God, whoever it is, I've had enough and I want to put myself first. Exercising, taking care of your body, spending time with friends, these things are medicine. And if you don't do these things, you will never be able to create that love that you deserve because your mindset is not there. So again, for Kapha types, if you find yourself in relationships that you are continually undervalued, you may be abused, physically or verbally. Or perhaps you are holding on to a past relationship and unwilling to look at all of the signs that it is no longer working with you because you are afraid of letting go, then that is Kapha. And you have to value yourself first and love yourself and take care of yourself. So you can get to that point where you find yourself, your mirror in another person. And it is not out of need or desperation, but it is from a point of pure fulfillment that you are so complete as an individual that when you meet that other person, 1 + 1 becomes more than 2. When two wholes come together, it is something so much greater than a whole. It is a universe. So, as a recap, Vatas, they tend to be flighty in relationships. They get bored very easily, and what they really need to look at is the part of themselves that they are unhappy with and being okay with the mundane and the everyday things and maybe finding more excitement in other areas and aspects of their lives. For Pittas who have a need for control and perfectionism, I invite them to sit back and enjoy the flow of the relationship and let it see where it goes without needing to control every single detail. And also be willing to accept a partner that may not look or fit the resume of that person that you were looking for, because you never know where that relationship may take you. And then for Kaphas, love yourself before you try to love someone else. Because if you don't, that person will detect upon that. And that's how abuse in relationships are created. So take care of yourself, take care of your mind, take care of your soul. And that way, when you are so complete as an individual, you will be able to manifest a relationship that takes you to other planets. So that's how the doshas are in relationships. I would love to hear from you guys which doshas characteristics resonated with you most. When was a time in your life that you may have been kind of Vata in relationships and moving around the place? Can you think of a certain relationship that you may have been very Pitta, or maybe you tend to find yourself that way? Or have you been in a Kapha relationship maybe for many years and have finally now realized that that's what it was behind it all? I can't wait to hear back from you guys, and if you want more, go on my website, eatfeelfresh.com. The link is below. Namaste.